Reincarnations are confirmed and canon in Kingdom Hearts now. For years, people have been making theories about the foreteller reincarnations, and with the recent Kingdom Hearts Union Cross finale, as the Dandelions were passing on to their next lives or having their hearts and Cherokees fade into Dream Eaters, they confirmed that Xehanort, Master Xehanort, is a reincarnation of the player from Union Cross. Now, I know that's crazy, it's insane, but we'll have to talk about that another time, go into more detail about that another time, because today, I want to discuss a theory I've been seeing go around the community as of late, a thought we've been discussing in streams and since the finale released, since we know that the player reincarnates into Xehanort and that Ephemer in the modern timeline should be, well, gone since he was the founder of Scarlet Kylum. Does this mean that it's possible for Sora to be the future reincarnation of Ephemer? That's the thought that's been going around. It's not entirely far-fetched, honestly, either. While there's not much aside from that as a statement to go on, it creates a interesting discussion and creates a even cooler story for someone like Ephemer. Though, he really doesn't need it. I mean, this man has plenty of a legacy. He was among the 5 chosen Union leaders, has the Book of Prophecies, the Master Defender, and founded Scarlet Kylum. As far as resumes go, for the Kingdom Hearts characters, Ephemer definitely has it made. And honestly, if we think about it in a grander scope of things, he sparked a lot of what we're seeing today, or contributed in a major way to what we're seeing today in the modern Cage story. Though people like this idea because it gives Sora's character some potential additional weight as well. His character being all about connections, having these two connected isn't the weirdest thing I've ever heard. We did see Ephemer from Beyond lend Sora a hand during Kingdom Hearts 3, maybe as a extra layer. A reason Sora felt his presence more directly there is because Sora is a reincarnation of him. Just purely speculative. My more personal thoughts on this, however, is that while although cool, potentially, this doesn't really need to happen from my point of view. Sora has enough weight to his character as is. I don't see the benefits of this adding enough to his character to really justify that as a plot point. If anything, we go back to what Sora is meant to represent. If we go back there, it actually takes away certain aspects of his character, though that entirely depends on what aspects you like about Sora in the first place, which can be different for everyone. Sora is meant to be a normal boy who has a strong heart. Using that strong heart, he's able to connect with people like Ventus, get the Keyblade, and do what he does. Though it isn't specifically because he's some glorious entity or being in the Kingdom Hearts series, he's just as vulnerable as other people, though his strength of heart and his friends around him really help push him further beyond to what we even think he's capable of, and that's the Sora we see throughout a lot of the Cage series. It's generally because of a classic trope. He's just a really good person with a strong heart. He doesn't mean for these crazy things to happen or really wants them to, but he just wants to do what he thinks is, well, right. Very similar to a lot of Kingdom Hearts characters, but even more so than most Kingdom Hearts characters, even to his critique from others in the series, he thinks and acts more emotionally than almost everyone. Ephemer reincarnating into him doesn't take all of that away just at the snap of a finger. Not completely, but it does make it a little weird saying all of that about Sora and then ending it off with, oh yeah, he's also the reincarnation of one of the first Keyblade Masters. Okay. It, in a way, kind of discredits a lot of what Sora has done up until now. Oh, no wonder he defeated Xehanort. He's the reincarnation of Ephemer. Or, no wonder he's so powerful. He's a reincarnation of one of the first Keyblade Masters. The first Keyblade Master as far as like everyone else in history knows. It adds a extra layer that is a bit unnecessary in my eyes, though I'm not completely shut off to the idea. Rather, those are just things I see being bothersome with it based on what I like about Sora's character already. The player being a reincarnation of Xehanort doesn't have a super drastic effect on his character, or what Xehanort has done at a surface level, like at a very surface level, but does shift the emotional side, the emotional weight and ambitions of Xehanort quite a lot in terms of how you perceive him when looking deeper. So like when viewers now look at Master Xehanort, they're going to automatically think about the player in a lot of instances, and they're going to try to relate the player's story to Xehanort's in a lot of ways, even if Xehanort isn't directly doing anything the player would do, or isn't directly doing anything that like involves the player necessarily. It's just that he's the reincarnation of the player, but now that we know that, we're looking at his story and comparing the two, and it kind of creates a feeling, a perspective that makes you look at Xehanort in a new light, or even in a better or worse light. Overall, it definitely affects your perception of the character. For example, I've seen all the memes all over Twitter. Beforehand, everyone was hyping up Woody when he was mouthing off Xehanort in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, everyone's telling Woody to back off. Again, it's a meme, but it's just an example of like how perceptions like shift characters quite a bit for people. But I like stuff like that. I think the player being reincarnated into Xehanort makes things a lot more interesting, because it does nothing but add to what was already established to him, while not changing too much that we already knew. Just some extra emotional layers. The player being Xehanort's reincarnation does things for both characters, both the player and for Xehanort on both ends. I think for Ephemer to Sora, however, it does a lot more for Ephemer than it does for Sora, from my point of view, given their characters. Though I definitely want to see where this reincarnation stuff does go, or if it stops with Xehanort. Though I really want to hear what you guys think. How would you feel if Sora was a reincarnation of Ephemer? Like I said, I'm definitely conflicted. I'm open to it, but I'm leaning more towards not really being that crazy about it. But comment your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed today's video, you already know what to do. Leave a like, share the video with a friend or a family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the union, all you have to do is hit that red subscribe button down below, and we got plenty more Union Cross videos coming. Plenty more. But my name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out, you guys. Bye.
Now she's a daydreamer.